Well, hello, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors goes to the man of great millstone who brought out this word with all truth and sincerity. Salutations to the Alkim that are out there in the byways and highways, bringing out this word in truth, risking their lives now more than ever. Peace also to the Akwaf that are humbly and with all humility learning this truth, and to the scattered of elect of Yasharayim. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I'm in a parking lot of a very famous store here. Something here got my attention right across where I'm at. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a cap with three famous sequential, well, not sequential, but aligned numbers. It's a sixth number of the six, and sixth number of the numerical alphabet, if you will. You'll find it in the end of chapter 13. And so it's like what I was saying last time. There's signs everywhere. I mean, this society is geared towards the wicked. It's geared towards the wicked. I'm not here to, well, I guess I am here to call out who the so-called black, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native American, Seminole Indians. We are the 12 tribes of Israel, and our number one enemy is Esau Edomite, red. Esau Edom is red, for whom the world ignorantly calls, well, they call themselves white. They called everybody, they would be the red Esau Edomites, who are the so-called white peoples. They name everything, they claim everything, except they don't claim their own biblical heritage. They don't claim that they're Edomites. They actually say, because they're hiding, how are the things of Esau sought out for? Actually, I think it says, how are the hidden things of Esau sought out for? Yeah, because they don't want the world, especially you 12 tribes of Israel, us, they don't want us and the world to know who they are, and they don't want you to know who you are. There's no such thing as a Russian, a Philippine, a Chinese, Mexican. You get the message. There's no such thing as that. In Genesis, the Most High created 18 nations. 18 nations. And if you look at the culture of the Edomite goes everywhere and takes everything. It was given unto him. The Job 9:24 says, and the earth is given unto the wicked. Again, and the earth is given unto the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Who dominates the whole world, the whole earth in every matter? Who has their hand? Who has their dirty political hand in everything? Who has their military in everything? Who wants to have their money, their currency in everything, in every situation? Oh, you better check with that country that was built in 1776. See what they say, because no matter what we say, we can do whatever we want. But as soon as they get here, they're like the gods here on earth. Well, that leads me to another scripture. For he said in his heart that I will ascend my throne above the stars of the Most High, and I will be like unto the Most High, in Isaiah 14. And so who thinks of himself that way? And when I say himself, I know that's a singular term, but I'm speaking in plural terms. Like when someone says the white man, or the so-called black man, or the so-called Chinese man, those are singular terms. Man is a singular term, but we all know that it's in a plural form, that we're addressing it as a whole race of people. Like the white man the white man did this. It wasn't one person, it was the race of people. When someone says the white man, and they're not white, they're red. Esau Edom is red. Esau Edom is red. It was in 1613 in a Jacobean play that term first came out. In that play, there was a play that was being here in Virginia, I believe. Well, I'm not in Virginia, but I meant in the United Snakes of America, in the state of Virginia. I believe that there was a play being played out, a Jacobean play, and in that play there was an African king, and I'm gonna paraphrase it as best I can. But that African king, one of his lines were as follows: I see amazement in the faces of these white people. That's as far as I'm gonna go. There's more that he said, but that's the whole point. That was the first time that term had been used, and it was that's the first recorded term in the history of those terms of white man. Where did that come from? There's nothing older than that I've looked into, as far as white people, white faces, white, of the birth of a white nation. That's the earliest recorded mention of a so-called white person. 1613 Jacobean play. And later on in I believe it was 1681 in the state of Virginia, though that term started really taking off with actual laws and declarations by the so-called white people. They really started using it then. It spread into Europe, started here in the United States in the state of Virginia, and spread into Europe. So that was the first time they started using classifications of, as the way we see it now, first middle class, lower class, and upper class, first, second, and third class. Social stratification that had never been done by, according to races, R-A-S-E-S, your raíz, your race, your ethnicity, your ethnic background, your bloodline. That had never been done like that until then, and it started growing, along with the bigotry of racism that started happening, of course, with slavery, all of this. But all of this was just to guys let you know that it's everywhere in this backward society. A certain race edifies themselves while they oppress another, or a race that's not like them. If you are not of the Caucasian status of the red Esau Edom, then you're going to be oppressed. Isaiah 10. Woe unto them who decree unrighteous decree. A decree is a declaration of a law. A declaration of a law. This is like, like a king in the medieval Renaissance days. This is a declaration of the king, and everybody will obey because now it's law. And this is what he declares. This is a decree, like a divorce decree. You're not going to see your divorce, like in the Constitution, but it is law. It is a decree. It's something that you have to follow as a rule, a precept. And I see this over here, and it's just reminding me that everywhere, on t-shirts, on billboards, it's a wicked nation, a wicked nation. And his number is a mark number, name of the beast of the man, and his number is 606, which is 666. The word score means 20. And if you have 3 scores, you're going to have 20, 20, 20, 20, 40, 60. Kohalo Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Rakah Kodash Wa Abad Baba Kwam Yasharala.